knickers. I had just heard her clumping down the hall. As the clumping got closer, my heart began beating a few beats faster. "Is that you, Leslie?" "No, it's Geronimo." "It's who?" "Geronimo, who?" She opened the door. She opened the 2 large locks. The door opened slowly, and there she stood in her laced-up Oxfords with one broken heel. "Where have you been? I've been calling for you from the stoop. I looked and looked, I didn't see you. And what's that smell? Have you been at the fire? You know, you've been told not to go near the bloody fire." "I was just watching, and you're home, and your nose, it's been bloody. What's that in your hand? Have you been fighting again?" No, I fell crossing the street and hit my nose on a pile of ice." "Oh, okay, big kids gave me his hanky eye, likely story. In you go, get out of the smelly clothes and I'll hang them on the fire escape for you. I'm just after heating up your supper, so hurry before it gets cold again." The next day, she helped me into my Mackinaw. She gave me a stern warning. "Remember, no fire and no fighting with the boy whose eyebrows grows together. You need two Tontino? And be home in time for your supper." Okay, I will now. Bye." It had snowed the night before, and as I opened the front door, I was greeted by a tightly packed snowball that hit me right in the side of the head. I quickly scooped the pack and packed 3 tightly and began scanning the parked cars. When I saw the fat little paws of Tontino himself scooping from behind the parked car, I fired the first 2 right away and missed with both. I held the third, waiting for him to show his fat face. And there it was, just above the hood of a car. I threw it as hard as I could. Bullseye, I hit him right between the eyes. I charged him as fast as I could, yelling, "Geronimo!" and punched him right in the nose. I grabbed a handful of snow as we rolled around on the sidewalk and gave him the old face wash. I was on top of him now. I gave him another face wash. His face was all bloody. He started crying and ran wee all the way home. As I brushed myself off, I heard a tapping. I looked up at the building that I was in front of. It was 5 West. I live in 3 West, 102. And in the large window on the right was Carl. Carl the Crop. That's what the big kids call him. He was one of the big kids on the block, but he didn't seem to have any friends, except maybe me. We talked a few times about nothing really, but about moving around a lot. He said he moved around a lot because of his father's job. I asked him what kind of job did his father do. He said he didn't know, but he wasn't home much. I told him, me too, I'd never seen my father. He seemed to drift back and forth. He came close to the window, showing a rifle in front of him, and then he would drift back almost out of sight. He did this again and again. He pointed to the rifle and waved me in. I looked around and decided to go in since I didn't have anything better to do. I waited as he unlocked the 2 locks. "Leslie, no, it's Geronimo." Oh, of course. The Indian fighter, the Indian chief. That's my new name. Come in. "I want to show you my Christmas gift." He showed me into the front room. I sat on the couch next to the window. He carried the rifle in his right hand and the cloth he wiped it with in his left. He kept wiping it as he talked about how beautiful and well balanced it was. He fitted it into his shoulder and swung it around the room as if he were aiming at a moving target. I became bored with the rifleman show. "Carl, looks like the ones they have in the 5 and 10 on Columbus. So you think this rifle is a copy? A toy? This is a genuine 11 to 22 caliber semi-automatic rifle. But it looks just like the ones in the 5 and 10. So you don't think it's real?" "No, I don't think it's real. I think it's from the 5 and 10. Look, Carl, I want to go. I want to get out of here." "No, you stay where you are. I must convince you that it is the real rifle my father gives to me for Christmas." He stood up me now. He stood in front of me now and raised the rifle to his shoulder, aiming it at me. "Do you think it's real?" "Now do you think it's real?" "No, I don't. I want to go home. I want to go